Imagine living your entire life with a silent, invisible countdown above your head. A colossal, city-sized sphere following you everywhere you go. Not chasing you, not falling, just waiting. And even if you knew it might never hit, the mere knowledge that it's there would be enough to make every clear night sky feel unsettling. Because that's exactly the relationship Earth has with the moon. Right now, it orbits us at a safe distance, and according to precise measurements, it's actually drifting away at about 3.8 centimeters every single year. Slowly, quietly, almost politely. But flip that story for a moment and the question becomes terrifyingly simple. What if the moon started coming toward us instead of away? Could a collision really happen? And if it did, would anyone alive today have even the slightest chance of surviving it? Because before we even talk about global destruction, firestorms, or oceans climbing out of their beds, we need to understand why the moon doesn't already belong to Earth. Since on paper, Earth's gravity is about 6 times stronger, and by pure logic the moon should have crashed into us billions of years ago. Yet it hasn't, and the reason is motion. The moon is falling toward Earth all the time, but it's also moving sideways so fast that it keeps missing, creating what we call an orbit, where its forward speed creates a centrifugal effect that perfectly counterbalances gravity and pins it in place. The same cosmic trick that keeps Earth from plunging into the sun, turning what looks like a peaceful night sky into a delicate, perfectly timed dance, where one small change could rewrite the fate of an entire planet. If the moon began a slow, unstoppable one-year descent toward Earth, we wouldn't need telescopes or scientists to tell us something was wrong. We'd feel it within the very first month because the moon is the hidden hand behind our oceans. And as it crept closer, its gravity would start pulling the seas into monstrous shapes, turning ordinary tides into moving walls of water. And by the end of just the first month, waves would be rising 4 meters high, flooding coastal cities, swallowing beaches, ports, and entire neighborhoods, and forcing millions of people to run inland with nothing but what they could carry. But that would only be the opening act. Because by month 2, those waves would grow into 10-meter giants, powerful enough to erase coastlines from the map and displace over 1 billion people worldwide. And at that point, global civilization would start to fracture as every major port on Earth becomes useless. International trade collapses almost overnight, and something even more fragile breaks without most people realizing it: the internet. Because around 95% of the world's data travels through undersea cables, and as the seabed shifts and coastal stations are torn apart, the planet would begin to go silent, country by country, continent by continent, until by the 3rd month the crisis deepens into something far darker, as offshore oil drilling becomes impossible, triggering a global fuel shortage, while the moon's growing gravitational pull starts literally reaching up into space and tugging at our satellites, knocking communication systems and GPS out of their stable orbits, sending them spinning away or crashing down, and in a matter of weeks modern humanity would find itself blind, disconnected, and lost, living on a planet that's still spinning, but no longer truly connected. By months 4 and 5, the oceans would no longer behave like oceans at all, but like something alive and furious, as tidal waves climb to an almost unbelievable height of 100 meters, wiping every coastal city on the planet off the map and forcing what's left of humanity to flee toward high mountain ranges. Though even there, safety would be more of a hope than a guarantee, because by month 6, the moon's gravity wouldn't be satisfied with just pulling at the water anymore. It would start grabbing the planet itself, stretching and stressing Earth's crust until massive earthquakes tear across continents and magma is dragged toward the surface, igniting chains of volcanic eruptions around the world, while at the same time, Earth's rotation would be thrown completely out of balance, speeding up so violently that a full day would shrink from 24 hours to barely 2, turning the sky into a blur of sunrise and sunset. And with the moon now so close, it would constantly constantly slide in front of the sun, causing near-continuous eclipses. And when you combine that darkness with thick volcanic ash filling the atmosphere, global temperatures would crash, pushing the planet into a freezing, dim twilight where survival itself becomes almost impossible. And then comes the final act in the 11th month when the moon crosses a point called the Roche limit, only about 10,000 kilometers away, where the Earth's gravity becomes so overpowering that it literally tears the moon apart, shredding it into millions of pieces that spread out into orbit and form a gigantic ring system around our planet. Something like Saturn's, but far more dramatic, and from the ground it would look like a glowing, permanent rainbow cutting across the sky. Beautiful, haunting, and deadly. Because those rings would also mean endless meteor storms as debris keeps raining into the atmosphere, turning every night into a fireworks show written in fire. And by the time this cosmic crown finally settles into place, Earth would no longer be the world we recognize. Most life would be gone. The air would be thick with ash, and human civilization would exist only as a memory, which makes this whole scenario both terrifying and strangely comforting, because in reality the moon is slowly drifting away from us, not coming closer, so for now, we're safe. But tell me, if it were possible, would you want to see Earth with rings, even knowing what it would cost?